should be live. I'm just checking on the app. It does say that we are live. Yeah, so we're probably gonna just download the VOD and then
throw it up on YouTube.
Edit this little part, the pre-stream part, out, and then just throw the whole thing on YouTube. So Bermuda. It's B-E-R.
Yeah.
Bermuda Triangle.
What did you say we were streaming, by the way?
Huh?
What did you say we were streaming, by the way?
Where? Where?
What did you say we were streaming?
What?
Yes.
The podcast? What do you mean?
On Twitch.
Yes, on Twitch.
Okay. You know how Twitch has like the games and stuff like that?
Oh, just chatting.
Good job. That was way harder than it needed to be.
Yeah. Bermuda Triangle. What was the other thing that we were going to talk about?
Ruby Ridge.
Ruby Ridge. Maybe more. Enter my own tags category. Just chatting.
Podcast live.
Podcast in Espanol. No.
I mean, I could try speaking Spanish if you want.
I don't spell Taco Bell, pal. Well, I don't speak hamburger, motherfucker. Very cool. Let me... That's actually pretty clean.
Yeah, it really is.
So, I'm gonna just throw this in between us so that if there's any chats that pop up, we can both see it.
Okay. I'll move my drink. Sorry about that.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Taboo Tater Tots Club podcast, but live!
Where we talk about anything that interests us, whether it be fucking with the Mormons, or the paranormal, or just conspiracies, or in today's episode...
But live!
You had to throw that in, didn't you?
Yeah.
But in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Bermuda Triangle.
Bermuda Triangle.
I said it weird on purpose.
Okay.
And then, if we have time, and depending on how we're feeling, we might end up talking about Ruby Ridge as well.
Yeah.
So, we got some fun stuff planned for y'all. But first, how the fuck are you doing? That was really aggressive.
Doing fucking okay. Very fucking okay. My hip still hurts. Don't know what the hell happened to it. I woke up, was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. I woke up, kind of bothered me a little bit, and then as the day went on, it started hurting more and more and more. But I went to the chiropractor, got that looked at, got it adjusted, and now instead of a 5 or a 6 on a scale of 10, now it's like a 2 or a 3. So
in terms of pain, or
yeah,
okay.
Like it's mostly when I lay down.
You just started talking about a scale, and I was like, huh?
Yeah. In terms of pain.
I just wanted to make sure we were on the same fucking.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Other than that, I have been fucking exhausted because I have a bad heart, and I usually get around 10 to 12 hours of sleep. Because at first, when they first figured out what was wrong with my heart, they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna be really tired because of this, and you need to get at the very least 10 hours of sleep." But last time I went to go see my cardiologist, which was about 3 years ago, he said that it's called ejection fraction, the amount of blood that normal hearts pump out, was within acceptable ranges. So because of that, and because I'm still really lethargic all the time and really tired constantly, my wife says, "Oh, well, maybe you're getting too much sleep." And so we're trying to limit my sleep to between 7 and 9 hours of sleep every night. And I've just been so exhausted. And she's like, "Well, the human body takes 3 weeks for it to adjust to any kind of change." So I'm like, "You mean I'm gonna have to try this out for 3 weeks? And if it doesn't work, then fuck me, I guess." And yeah, pretty much. Other than that, I've been fine.
So in other words, it's essentially like, yeah, you're right, but also, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, other than that, I've been okay.
4th of July passed not too long ago, and I don't think we've recorded since.
I don't believe so, no.
So how was your 4th of July?
It was like any other day. We didn't really do anything special. Well, that's not true. I had a single beer. And, well, okay, it wasn't even really a beer. I had a single liquor. It was,
Who'd you lick, and did your wife know about it?
Yes, it was my wife. She knew about it because she was there.
Liquor.
Yeah. Liquor, I hardly even knew her. No, I had one mixed drink. That was it. We didn't do anything special.
I didn't really do anything special either. Literally, I just hung out in the studio with the dogs, played games, and listened to the fucking scanner. And oh boy!
Was there a lot of shit going on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there was the typical DUIs and firework calls that you would expect.
Yeah.
But then there was a call about people shooting what looked like M80s at each other.
Oh.
And then there was another call out in Hayburn, or Paul, one of the two, where a tree had caught on fire.
Oh shit.
It's not oh shit yet.
Oh.
It gets worse.
Oh boy.
It started burning the grass and lit not one, not two, but 3 different cars on fire.
Oh. Very cool.
Yeah, that was fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Sure hope they had insurance.
Yeah.
Wait, do you think house insurance or car insurance would cover that?
Wait, say what happened again? My mind completely just wiped itself, and I don't know why.
A tree caught on fire and burnt its way into the grass and caught 3 cars on fire.
Caught 3 cars on fire. Okay.
So would that be considered house insurance or car insurance problem?
I don't think it matters because most insurances don't cover acts of God, and they would probably file that under an act of God, and they probably wouldn't cover it anyway.
True, but like, if they did.
If they did,
hypothetically,
probably car insurance.
I think it would fall under house.
I don't know.
And then there was 2 stolen vehicles in our county, and one had a stolen firearm from Florida.
Oh.
2 stolen computers. So, yeah.
Hey, really quick, I kind of totally forgot, but a friend of ours stopped by and said that she had to take a friend of ours to the store, and that friend of ours is on felony probation, so she couldn't take her firearm and knife with her. So it's in my car. So if she shows up, I'm gonna have to go run and grab that for her.
Okay.
Sorry. Anyway, what were you talking about? The stolen vehicles?
Stolen vehicles, yeah.
Yeah.
So, there was the stolen vehicles, and then this is the part that kills me a little bit.
Yeah.
So, there was a call about a car hitting a deer.
Oh. Oh, I think I heard about that. It wasn't a Dodge Charger?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I heard about that.
I could have probably told you, honestly.
Maybe you did, I don't know, but I
But
definitely
word-
know about it.
Word gets around.
Yeah.
And especially in an area like ours.
Yeah, it's very small.
But anyways, on that exact same road that the deer was on, the deer collision was on,
Uh-huh.
2 street racers passed a responding fire responder.
Oh, no.
So who called it in?
Huh.
So I guarantee you, and yes, it was a Dodge Charger,
Uh-huh.
which my favorite fucking car in the entire fucking world, by the way.
Uh-huh.
My first reaction was, of course, that poor car.
Yeah.
The dude was complaining of back pain and shit, and I'm just like, that poor car.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was you that actually told me.
And like, what are the fucking odds that
Uh-huh.
what are the fucking odds that that street racers are on the same road, less than a mile
Uh-huh.
from where a collision happened with a deer, with
Yeah.
a muscle car?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he was speed racing or street racing.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And then he was just playing it off. Like, oh, I hit a deer.
Yeah, that actually kind of reminds me. The other night, when I was hanging out with you, I don't remember which night, but I was going to DoorDash, and the only place that was busy was up in Burley. So it was like, hey, here's an order for like $12. Get to Burley as fast as you can. I'm like, cool. And I was going through the back roads, and I went like that way past the ER.
Yeah.
And right on that road, and I was like, I think I was going like 45 and a 50, and just like in a video game. Well, okay, the first part, it was like in a movie, slow motion, where I see the police, and I'm like, oh shit, step on the brakes, and then it was like in a video game, where they all the policemen, there was like at least 7 of them, all aggroed right at me. They all turn at the exact same time to stare at me, and I'm like, I'm going the limit, don't look at me. They had 2 cars pulled over, so they probably wouldn't be able to chase me down anyway, but still, I was like, hi officers, I'm totally obeying the law.
I'm not a Mexican, I promise.
I am not of the brown variety, I promise.
But yeah, my 4th of July was interesting just for that reason, honestly.
Pretty cool.
I didn't do any of the fucking fireworks shit or anything like that. I didn't go outside at all, honestly.
Yeah, after the age of like 16 or 17, I quickly realized that doing fireworks is literally in the literal sense, literally burning your money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, I'm good
But
with this.
at the same time, destruction.
There are some times that I'll buy some like Black
That's
Cats or M80s or something, but
That
that's
is
about it.
the major appeal of fireworks.
Yeah.
Is the destructive factor.
Yeah. I'm sure when I have kids, I'll buy them fireworks just for the novelty of it, but not for me personally.
So, but yeah, I had a pretty good 4th of July.
Oh, also I dyed my hair purple. It looks nice. And so
I thought he got a haircut at first.
yeah, it's funny. So I had dyed it. I tried to make it silver, but it didn't turn out silver. It just turned out to be like a shitty, like off-colored blonde, and then I dyed it silver again, and then it was just like a light gray color, and it had like a blue tint to it. It was really weird, and I'm like, nah, fuck this. And then so I'm like, I'm gender fluid, which means that sometimes I feel more masculine, sometimes I feel more feminine, but I always identify as being male. And at the time that I bought the purple hair dye, I was in a more feminine phase. And then, like, the day after I dye my hair, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like,
You
God
slut.
damn it! I feel like a man now. What the fuck?
You're a whore!
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm like, well, I wasted that opportunity, but it still looks cool.
I'm proud of you. You've never mentioned publicly about being gender fluid, so good job.
Thank you. The closet was full, so I got out.
Too many Mormon kids.
Yeah, definitely. Fucking, yeah. But before we get into the main topic matter, let's clean house a little bit. Right now, we are streaming on Twitch.
We were going to stream on YouTube, but YouTube decided to pull a fucking bullshit fast one on us.
I think the last time I actually did stream anything to YouTube was more than 2 years ago, so they might have implemented a new rule that you have to have a certain watch time or a certain subscriber base in order to live stream. I have no idea, but it wouldn't let us. The reason why we're streaming on Twitch right now is because my anxiety has been through the fucking roof lately, and I just don't want to do shit. Like, I haven't been wanting to play very many video games. I haven't been wanting to write very much. Really, the only thing that I've been wanting to do is my art. I draw.
A lot.
A lot. That's like the only thing I've been wanting to do lately. And I'm like, well, I think we have 2 podcast episodes that I still need to edit. We might have 1. I don't know. But I definitely don't have any gaming episodes right now, which we need to do either tomorrow or the next day.
I thought you were wanting to take a break from the gaming.
I don't think I ever mentioned the gaming part, but we can talk about that later. Either way, we're going to be only uploading 1 episode of either gaming or the podcast onto the YouTube channel, which, check that out. It's Taboo Tater Tots Club Podcast.
This is just a temporary thing. Hopefully.
Most likely. I mean, if this gets more traction on Twitch, if we get more interactions on Twitch, if better content.
The one
one
video.
episode. Yes.
Yeah.
The 1 episode a week is going to be a temporary thing.
Yeah, mongrel.
Yeah. So
I don't even know what mongrel means.
Mongrel?
Yeah.
It's like calling someone a bastard, basically.
Oh, you filthy mongrel.
That's like hoity-toity British talk for calling someone a bastard, basically. Like old-time English.
Oh, okay. Well, you're a mongrel then.
Okay.
I like that word, mongrel.
And I had a thought, like, well, we don't have a set date, what day of the week. I'm gonna shoot for Friday. It might be next Monday, but I'm gonna shoot for Friday to upload something to the YouTube channel. By the way, all of our social media links are in the description of our Twitch channel, and if you go to our YouTube channel, more links will be there. I believe our tip jar for Cash App, that link is going to be in the YouTube channel description, if not the description of all of our videos. But yeah, the once a week thing is going to be temporary. If this gets enough traction doing live podcast episodes and then just editing them down for the YouTube, if this gets enough traction and enough popularity and everything, we might just do this as the standard. Because I remember at least a month ago we talked about doing it in this format, and I just remembered that today. I was like, oh, actually, that's kind of a good idea, maybe.
You're welcome.
Yes, you were the one that came up with that, so yes, thank you, Morgan.
I just want to take the credit, because you said it was a good idea, so go me.
Yay.
I don't get to pat myself on the back often, so I'm going to take the opportunity.
Yeah. So,
But, good job recognizing my good idea, I guess.
Yay!
That felt so fake.
But yes, this is live on Twitch. We're going to download the VOD later and edit it down minimally. Probably just cut out the first like 10 minutes because we were doing sound checks and updating the description of the stream and everything.
And just really just
add the intro music.
being idiots.
Yeah. It's not going to be very different on our end how we do things, and probably not very different on the YouTube end on how we do things. But yeah. Thank you for the 0 live viewers right now. Hopefully, at least 1 or 2 people come in as we go along.
I'm sure that will change.
Yeah.
I mean, who could miss 2 fucking idiots talking about the Bermuda Triangle?
Yeah. So if you are watching live on Twitch, make sure to check out all of our social media links and check out the YouTube specifically. And if you are watching on YouTube, make sure to check out all the social media links in the description and specifically the Twitch. And if you are watching on both of them, which why would you, make sure to check out specifically the Patreon, where right now we have 2 $5 tier only videos. One is commentating over the A Team, which was Morgan's choice, and then one...
Which I think that turned out pretty damn good.
Yeah, it did. And then the other one is us commentating over the Dark Knight, which...
turned out really fucking good.
Yes, it did. I watched the first 50 minutes of it, and it was pretty damn good. I love the shotgun counter. It was a nice touch. Nice artistic touch.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
It wasn't until I had already cut everything down that I realized I wanted to do a shotgun counter. So I'm sure there was more shotguns in the movie.
Probably, yeah. So we are due to do another movie commentary, which we want to do once a month. It is Morgan's turn, but if I am to make a suggestion, I would say out of all the ones that are up on the board, either John Wick 1 or Paul, I would suggest.
But you read my mind on both of them. That's really fucking weird.
That's pretty cool.
I was thinking that's what I was debating between, you know.
That's pretty cool.
And then you were like, John Wick 1 or Paul, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's actually really cool.
Are you anti-Semitic? I don't think that's the right word.
Against Jews? I try not to be.
Oh, well, I am, I guess.
Okay. Let's not say that on Twitch.
But, mind reading. That's what it is.
Clairvoyant?
Yeah.
Is that the word you're looking for?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. But those are the 2 best movies that I could think of for your choice.
Yeah.
What's the last one? It says Paul, E.T., and then is that 1? Or
yes, 1.
Is there a movie called 1?
Or oh wait, no, that's an F. Olympus Has Fallen.
O-H-F. Okay, Olympus Has Fallen. Okay, that makes sense.
It wasn't until you said it that I was like, huh?
Okay, yeah, that's an F. Cool. Cool.
I've never had good handwriting, but ever since I got tendonitis, it's gotten worse.
I see.
Speaking of tendonitis, my guitar picks arrive tomorrow.
Cool.
And I am
very cool.
really excited for that.
Very, very cool. I am happy for it to you.
Yeah, me too. For me.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah.
We.
Yeah.
Final housekeeping, unless you got something you want to talk about.
Yeah, I had one more. Oh, yes. Go over to our X, formerly known as Twitter. I am going to put up a poll to see if we should watch John Wick 1 or Paul. And we are talking about the raunchy comedy Paul about the alien with, I don't remember either of those 2 actors' names. But they're in Hot Fuzz and,
Taylor Swift.
No. Anyway, yeah, there's going to be a poll over there if you want to contribute. It's between those 2.
Speaking of which, You should post on the X that we're live.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good boy. Good job. So you good on housekeeping?
I'm done farting. Yes.
Okay, but what about housekeeping, not house
Yes.
destroying?
Yes. Housekeeping. We're good on.
So there's one more thing that I want to talk about.
Okay.
If you look at our YouTube channel, and if you've been following for a little while, you'll start to notice that we are slowly changing up how things look the very
yes.
first around. Nicholas here, the
Hi.
fantastic artist that he is, not a fartist, even though he is that too,
Yes.
is making thumbnails.
Yes.
So, to be more attention grabbing and just have some unity through the channel.
Yeah, so basically the idea is that, well, my idea anyway, is that the names for each episode are a little bit long. So if you don't want to click on see more, or even if that's cut off or whatever, you can literally read the title of the episode on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
And also, they look pretty.
They do. They look really good. You really do a great job.
It's literally just a brush called stipple, and you just drag it across and it makes hash lines. And it's just blurred all over the canvas, and then do different colors of like each time, and then do a background color, and that's all it is.
So it's not that.
Like literally, I was cranking them out one every 3 minutes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then for the gaming episodes, I'm going to do a different looking thumbnail for each of those.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Also, for legal reasons, literal legal reasons, we had to private one of the gaming episodes. We're not going to go into it here, but
Or ever, really.
yeah, but that's just an unfortunate thing that we can't have that up on our channel. Maybe sometime in the very far future that can go back up, but
Yeah.
right now it needs to stay down. So I'm very, very sorry that had to happen, but
I am too. I'm annoyed about it, but whatever.
yeah.
And final mention, our school and missionary stories is at 65 fucking views last time I checked.
Very cool.
Like, what the fuck did we do?
Honestly, my thought about it is that people
Don't like
either-
missionaries.
Either that, or they're just like, oh, I am Mormon. This says missionary. I shall watch it. And oop, this is not what I thought it was. Goodbye.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So, but that's where we're at. Yeah, bop 'em sockers.
Bop 'em, rock 'em, sockers.
Knockers.
Socking.
Anyways, Bermuda Triangle.
The Bermuda Triangle, yes, the most spookiest of triangles. What do you know about it? Oh, goodness gracious. Hello. Give me just 1 second.
So, I'm not particularly sure what to be saying here. Milk duds and cookies. And maybe some cheese. Cheese on cookies. That's yummy. Good job.
Taco, get out of the way.
Taco, get in the way.
No! That was knocked over my laptop. Anyway,
I don't know how I used to do live solo commentary.
Yeah?
I just did it while you were gone because obviously we just can't have silence.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna need to cut that out, by the way.
Okay.
Because I was literally just naming like Oreos and cheese and or cookies with cheese on them.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do that shit to me. You put me on the spot.
It wasn't me!
You're the one I can blame here.
Okay.
So, anyways, the Bermuda Triangle.
The Spooky Dookie Triangle.
Spooky dookie. I don't know why I found that funny. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I know that planes, boats have gone missing and never seen again.
Yeah.
I think the ghost ship was in the Bermuda Triangle too.
Never heard that.
That's about it. Oh, and I know that it's super pretty.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's about it.
So, we need a better name for this and maybe an infographic specifically for this, like the Ranseth Morgan thing. But here is super...
Synopsis.
Huh?
Synopsis.
No, super wacky religious shit with Nick.
Oh, yeah, you need to find something shorter and catchier.
Yeah. So, there have been, and these are all just like third-hand stories. So take them with a grain of salt, but I can believe them. There have been reports of deep sea divers that get too close to the Bermuda Triangle. And it's not just the Bermuda Triangle either. There's like 3 specific areas on planet Earth.
Oh.
And they're all in the sea. Where people have reported this. Again, I cannot fact check the validity of these things because they're just second and third hand stories. But there have been a report of deep sea divers that get close to these 3 separate places on Earth, specifically the Bermuda Triangle, where they hear chains rattling and people wailing in agony. And it is theorized by certain Christian and Jewish scholars that these are portals to hell. That these 3 areas are portals to hell. Things that back up these claims, which again are not scientific at all, are people that have out-of-body experiences, who die and come back to life, like people whose hearts stop for 3 minutes and then they come back, things like that. Who say that when they die, their spirit goes out of their body, up into the air, and they go into like a stream of spirits that come out of everybody when they die all over the world, and they are funneled into one of like 4 or 5 different places. 2 or 3 of these portals go up to heaven apparently, but 3 or 4 of them go down to hell, and the Bermuda Triangle is one of these places that they go. Again, totally wacky, insane bullshit. I know. But
what if we've had it wrong all this time and hell isn't like all, fire and brimstone and torture? What if it's just underwater torture?
So, I have 2 things that can actually back that up.
Wait, what?
Yes.
I literally was just kind of bullshitting.
Something close. Not exactly that, but something close. One, I truly believe, and again, there's nothing to back this up. Nothing at all. I truly believe that the reason why we find such insane wacky and demonic looking creatures in deep sea places is because it says in the Bible that sin is a physical manifestation of rebellion to God, and that sin is cast into the deepest depths of the ocean. And two,
Can you put that in English, please?
so the Bible says that sin is something physical.
Okay.
That there is something physical inside of our bodies that happens, a reaction to us being apart from or doing things against God. And when Jesus forgives us, or God the Father forgives us through Jesus, he takes that sin and casts it into the depths of the ocean. Because even in science it says you cannot create or destroy matter, right?
Yeah.
And if sin is something physical and tangible, it has to go somewhere.
Okay, I have another theory though.
Okay.
What if they were hearing Atlantis and no one knew? Bum bum ba.
Here's some more wacky, insane religious shit. I think Atlantis was just Eden.
Then what's it doing underwater? The flood.
Yes, that, and it fell from grace. It had to go somewhere.
Yeah, it had to go down.
Yeah,
But then why has no one been able to fucking find it?
because it's probably in the deepest depths of literally the deepest depths of the ocean, where no human can go because it's too pressurized.
Then how tell that to the fucking Titan submersible?
What do you mean?
Too pressurized.
Yeah. It imploded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't care about that. I'm sure they cared in the end though.
Yeah. But anyway, the second part of why what did you say
Atlantis.
before that? That hell is underwater or something like that?
Yeah.
The second reason why I believe that there's some validity to that is because nowhere in the Bible does it actually depict exactly what hell is. As a matter of
That's
fact,
because life is hell.
As a matter of fact, most depictions of hell only gives you tiny little snippets of what happens there. And torture and hellfire and brimstone is only mentioned like maybe once. And most modern day Christian scholars not actually fire and brimstone and everything. That maybe that is reserved for Satan in the end times, because Satan's not in hell. Satan roams the earth, and hell is his final resting place. They think that the lake of fire is his final resting place, and human souls that go to hell aren't tortured, and they're not. Literally, it describes hell for humans as a departure of God. So, when people say life is hell, it's kind of true.
It is true. What if we're all dead and we're all living in hell?
I don't.
And the president is Satan.
I don't believe that for multiple reasons. That was probably going to be way too long to go into. But
The main one being, he can't be Satan if he doesn't know who the fuck he is.
yeah, yeah. But that's my theory of what I think the Bermuda Triangle is. I think that it's the most widely frequented
Religious
portal to hell, basically.
I think I still want to think it's the Atlantis. Oh, hi, Taco. I kicked him in the nose.
It possibly could be. Like I said, every single religious idea that I have I am completely open to having my mind changed about.
But the thing is, I can't change your mind because nobody fucking knows.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, if tomorrow they're like, hey, we actually got a, like, EMP proof or whatever drone to fly over the Bermuda Triangle, and there's, like, reason to suspect that there's, like, an ancient civilization in the middle of it, I wouldn't be like, nope, that's not true because portal to hell, Jesus. No, I'd be like, oh, okay.
That's fucking awesome.
That makes sense, sure.
I mean, if you think about it, it's entirely possible because the Bermuda Triangle is pretty relatively undiscovered.
Yeah.
Or unexplored. I don't think those are in the Bermuda Triangle, though.
Probably not.
Anyways, it's relatively unexplored.
Yeah.
So it's entirely possible that there's a civilization that we don't know about that somehow breathes underwater.
Aquaman.
I mean, if you and I'm about to blow your mind here. If you think about it, it's possible because there are island tribes that nobody knew about until recent years.
Yeah.
So who's to say that Atlantis isn't that?
Completely possible.
Anything is completely possible because we don't fucking know. Do you think Biden knows and just forgets?
I do actually think that, maybe not specifically the Bermuda Triangle, but I do think that the president, any president, knows either confirmation or denying the existence of things that we can only speculate about. Because there have been times where presidents have been on like Conan O'Brien or Jay Leno or whatever, and they're like, do you know about such and such a thing? And they just literally look at them, smile, and go, that's classified. And they play it off, ha 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 ha. But no, like, I really do think.
I don't think it hurts too much.
I try not to. When I can help it.
But also, it's really concerning because, like, this fucking dementia-ridden old man has access to nuclear launch codes.
Not
I know that
at the ready. Like, the red, there's not a big red button being
I know.
at the desk at all
It
at all
requires a 3-key system.
Yes, actually, I just learned about that the other day. They have what's called a football, which is basically just like a satchel with 2 things in it. It has like a little black book with God knows what's in it, and then like an old-fashioned like key card type deal with a bunch of like information on it. And those are 2 of the 3 things that the president needs to be able to do like a myriad of different things.
Yeah. But I know the president, a commander of a nuclear sub, and one other person, like high-ranking governmental official.
Yeah.
All have to turn a key. And
probably,
that's what allows the nuke to be fired.
Yeah, it's probably like the highest ranking general of the U.S. military.
That's it.
The president, of course, and then probably like maybe the highest ranking member of the Navy or something, perhaps.
Well, I know it has to be the highest ranking member on the sub.
Yeah.
Because 9 out of 10 times, we have moved away from, and a lot of people don't know this, actually, but we have moved away from storing nukes and nuclear launch centers on land.
I know that they were moving to try and do that by like next year or something like that, or like a couple years from now, and they were just barely getting started on that.
For the most part, nuclear warheads are kept on nuclear submarines,
Yeah,
which makes sense if you think about it.
yeah.
But it requires the fucking authorization that I mentioned before.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I heard that one of them can like motion to launch a nuke, and then the other two have to approve it,
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
But
has to be a unanimous decision.
No one person has the ability to be like, well,
Man, fuck
fuck you,
Russia.
China.
Fuck them kids, bro. What?
That can be taken out of context really easily.
It's a meme.
Okay. Never heard of it, but okay.
Literally, I think it was Michael Jordan said that in response to like if he's going to donate a bunch of money to a kid's hospital or something like that. Like they literally asked like, are you going to help the sick and starving and dying kids or whatever? And he was literally like, man, fuck them kids.
I can't see Michael Jordan doing that.
He did.
At least, I can't see it because it would absolutely destroy
Well, the thing is, it was supposed to be off the record.
his self-image.
Yeah.
Then again, you never really hear about him anymore, so I believe it.
Actually, it's kind of funny. There's the second Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. All of Peter Parker's friends from school, who are high school age, are on a field trip in London, and they're stuck on a bus. And here comes Mysterio, Spider-Man bad guy, bunch of drones with a bunch of guns on them, and he's like, Spider-Man's on that bus, kill him! And then someone's like, but sir, the kids. And I literally was like, man, fuck them kids, bro. And he literally started shooting up the fucking bus. That was in the theater, and I lost my fucking mind.
How did we get from the Bermuda Triangle to shooting at children?
Carefully. Or maybe not so carefully.
Just grab a couple grenades, call it a day.
Yeah.
The Bermuda Triangle, I actually heard a story. A decorated fighter pilot from World War II,
Yeah.
I believe it was. Yeah, World War II. Took off. He was a fleet captain.
Mm-hmm.
Or something along those lines. He led a group of planes,
Uh-huh.
and they took off from a place in Florida and ended up in the Bermuda Triangle. He ordered them to turn back because of some mechanical or instrument failure that they all experienced. But he, on the other hand, did not.
Yeah.
And we do know for sure that his navigational system went out, which really isn't an issue for a experienced fighter pilot.
Yeah.
You can navigate without fucking compass. But, and you can actually see on the flight path that he clearly does not know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if it was that aircraft or a civilian aircraft, but one of them fell in the Bermuda Triangle,
Mm-hmm.
and the other landed in Cuba.
Cuba.
So I don't know.
Okay.
Also, I want to go to Cuba just to see Guantanamo Bay.
That's not in Cuba. That isn't that like in between Cuba and Florida. It's like not technically Cuba because it's technically international waters.
It's governed by both.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I want to go there, and I just want to be like, "Ha! I'm free, and you're not." To the most dangerous of criminals.
Yeah, didn't Obama want to shut that down, or didn't he partially shut it down and then
I don't know.
Trump opened it back up? I don't remember.
I wouldn't put it past him. He's a
Yeah.
fucking moron.
Who?
Obama.
I was gonna say both. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but in this specific instance, Obama.
I see.
You know.
Yeah, I remember it was really really like infamous that he wanted to shut down Guantanamo.
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 But yeah. And did you know that the Russian arms dealer, the Merchant of Death, was held in Guantanamo?
No,
That's true.
I don't know who that is.
The guy that the U.S. traded Brittany Griner for.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
WNBA.
Oh, that bitch. The
one
one that
that-
wouldn't even stand for the flag.
The one that got arrested in Russia for weed.
Yeah. Fucking dumb bitch.
And we traded a WNBA player for a Russian arms dealer who supplies literal terrorists with weapons.
Yeah.
So, like,
Didn't Biden do that?
I'm pretty sure he did actually.
Wasn't that within like the last 2 or 3 years?
I think
Yeah.
that was when he first got into office.
Either way, what the fuck?
Yeah. Anyways, back to the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
There is a video out there of people swimming around and jumping off a yacht and shit like that.
Uh-huh.
And nothing bad happened.
Oh.
But there's also the rumor or the conspiracy of UFOs
UFO?
in the Bermuda Triangle. Have you heard about that?
I've heard about it, but I don't know anything about it.
Neither do I, other than there's probably UFOs there.
I see.
There's probably UFOs everywhere. Hell, I'm probably a UFO and don't even know it.
You're too fat to fly.
Yeah, that's where I keep the flying bits.
Okay. I don't know, man. I don't got anything else for the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, me neither. That was not as good as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, that's okay. Along the same topic, we can talk about Ruby Ridge if you want, but something on the board that I see that kind of ties into spooky, scary skeleton man's cryptids. You want to talk about cryptids?
Sure.
Okay.
It will allow me to refresh myself on my Ruby Ridge knowledge,
Oh, yeah.
and we can do that in another episode.
Okay. So,
I don't know anything about cryptids.
you don't?
Wait, isn't Goatman a cryptid?
Basically anything that's creepy, spooky, scary, and has man at the end of it is probably a cryptid. But yes, the goat man is a cryptid. So is Mothman.
Am I a cryptid?
Perhaps.
I just dishevel my skin.
Just what?
Dishevel.
Dishevel?
Yeah.
You mean shed?
Same fucking thing.
No. Disheveled is a state of being. If you look scraggly and unkempt, you are disheveled. Like you before your mom cut your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know of the Goat Man. Uh, is Bigfoot?
Yes.
I know Bigfoot then.
You want to know something that traumatized me?
Your dad leaving.
No, I was pretty happy about that. Fuck that guy. Anyway, no, there's a game called Red Dead Redemption, and the first one had a game mode called Undead Nightmare, where you had to fight zombies, but there were also different cryptids that you could find and kill and different things.
Oh yeah.
There was like 3 different kind of horses. There was like a Pegasus and a unicorn and a different kind of horse that was legendary. I think it was just like a Hell Rider horse that was just blowing fire
and they had Bigfoots in it.
yes, that's
And
where
you
I was
could
getting
shoot
to.
'em.
Yep.
I remember
The
that.
thing is though, that thing traumatized me because I played that at a very pivotal point in my life where I wasn't sure if I believed in God or not. And my mom always told me, I don't like you playing that because of zombies and vampires and witches and stuff. And I'm like, fuck you, Mom, I'm going to play it anyway. And there was a part that made me not want to play it for a good solid year where you chase down the Bigfoot and everything, and he's like crawling on his hands and knees, backing up against a tree, and he's like, please spare me. Like, I have nothing left. Or something like that. Or was he begging you to kill him? I don't remember. But he was like crying tears and sobbing and weeping. And I felt in that moment so emotionally tied to this fucking thing. And it literally, you didn't even have to pull the aim trigger. It was literally like spare or kill. And John was pointing his gun at him. And I just remember wanting to hit spare, but I accidentally hit kill. And just boom, and him just going, "Arr!" And it hurt my fucking heart. I was so traumatized. I think I actually shed real fucking tears. I was like, no, Robert. Literally, I felt pain in my soul, in my heart, and I just wanted. I don't think I played that game for a good solid year after that. Because I was so traumatized by it.
I didn't know you could spare him.
Yeah.
I always shot him.
I'm pretty sure it gives you a choice.
I always just shot him without fucking hesitating. Just boom.
Fuck, dude.
Imagine what I would do to a real life Bigfoot.
My God.
I'd keep it as a pet.
But I mentioned Mothman earlier. Me and my wife want to go down to, I think it's in Virginia, a very small town in Virginia where the rumors of the Mothman started. They actually erected like a statue in his name, and me and my wife want to go there and take a selfie with it, with the statue.
I want to go to Goatman's Bridge.
Goatman's Bridge, yeah. So you can be like, hey, Mr. Goatman, you fucking kill me.
I brought you some meat. It may or may not be human.
Yeah.
Come find out.
There's the Jersey Devil.
I've heard of that. I don't know what it is, but I've heard of that.
It is a devil from Jersey.
Okay, but is it like... Does it run on 4 legs, or like...
I think... Let me pull something up. Jersey Devil. Most things depict it as bipedal. It's like a little dragon imp thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen that.
It has like wings on its back, and it's got like some depict it as having like horse hooves, or some of them depict them having like 3-toed taloned feet. But yes, some depict it as having like goat horns on its head,
Do you think it bred with Goatman?
Huh?
Do you think it bred with Goatman?
Goatman? Maybe. I don't
Man
know.
goat?
Man goat? I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, since we're on the topic of cryptids,
Yeah.
I want to say just right now, I'm setting this rule. We do not even mention SWs.
SWs? I have no idea what that is.
Trying to think how I can get this message across without actually fucking saying it.
You want to write it on the board?
No, that's probably even fucking worse.
Oh? Okay.
There's a ranch
A ranch
in Arizona, I think it is,
in Arizona.
where this is specifically where you would go if you wanted to find one. I mean, they're all over the fucking world.
Oh!
What do you think it is?
I mean, honestly, I kind of want to say it just to piss you off.
Okay, well, when it fucking shows up to my fucking house, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Yes.
Okay, cool. Yes, I do believe in those, but if you don't want to talk about them, we don't have to talk about them.
Only because I have had way too close of an encounter. So.
Okay. Yes, I do believe in those. Just letting you know.
I didn't. And then I did.
Okay. The Loch Ness Monster.
Is that a cryptid?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Apparently, I guess. Good old Nessie.
I almost called it Lessie.
Nessie. Keeps on bothering me about getting tree fitty. There's a cryptid called the Loveland Frog. It was first sighted in Loveland, Ohio. And it's literally just a giant frog that walks on its hind legs. That's literally all it is.
How much you want to bet it was just seen by a bunch of cracked out people?
Probably.
It's Ohio.
Ohio, yeah. Ooh, chupacabra. Yeah. Those things are creepy. Which, out of all the different cryptids, all they do is suck the blood of goats and other livestock animals. So, you know, as long as it doesn't fuck with humans, it's fine, I guess.
Wasn't there a cryptid? I can't remember what it was, but it could fly, and the townspeople chased after it with shotguns.
That could be either the Mothman, the Jersey Devil, or the Thunderbird.
I think it was the Jersey Devil.
Might have been the Jersey Devil. I don't know if this counts as a cryptid, but it's like an old wives' tale down in Mexico. It's called a cucuy. Do you know what that is?
A what?
A cucuy.
The thing you do to get a girl pregnant?
Fuck.
Kukui.
I'm not following.
Please don't.
Okay. No, the cucuy is like, I don't know if there's like an analog for this in like English speaking countries, but basically it was like a thing where you would tell your kids like, oh, you don't want to eat your vegetables? Well, the cucuy is going to come at night and eat your toes or whatever. It was basically like a closet demon or whatever. I think it's depicted as like a wolf dude, kind of like a werewolf, but yeah, it's like, oh, if you don't finish your homework, the cucuy is gonna come and get you. Um. Yeah.
If you don't go to bed, the cuckoos get you.
Yeah, basically.
It's funny because all you said was closet, and it made me think. When I was a kid, and obviously the details are very, very hazy at best. But when I was a kid, have you ever heard of the green mask phenomenon?
No.
So I always thought it was just me. But in my teenage years, I thought about it, and I was like, I wonder if anyone else has experienced this or seen what I saw.
Yep.
And apparently a lot of fucking people have.
Huh.
So it's like, no, the green face is something else I'm thinking of. It's the Black Shadow, or the Hat Man.
The Hat Man.
The Hat Man.
Yeah, I owe him money. That's why I don't take Benadryl anymore.
Oh, you weren't joking.
Am I?
I don't know anymore. Are you?
I don't know. Continue.
The Hat Man.
Yeah.
I did see the green head mask, whatever, but I had just watched The Mask.
Yeah.
So that was probably closely related to that.
Uh-huh.
But the Hat Man, literally just a black shadow.
Huh. Yeah. I've heard of it.
Yeah, have you ever experienced it?
No. No, I haven't. But
Thank your God.
Thank my God. But no, actually, it's kind of funny. Me and my wife were talking about the medication that she takes to sleep or whatever, and she was out of her sleeping meds and they had to refill them, and she was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do to get to sleep tonight, and I was like, just take some Benadryl, and she's like, no, I don't want to see the Hat Man. And I'm like, it's fine as long as you don't owe him money. He's not gonna hurt you. And she's like, owe him money? I'm like, yeah, I stole his hat. And he's like, I either want my hat back or I want the money for the hat. And I'm like, nah. That's why I can't take Benadryl anymore. Because I stole the motherfucker's hat.
And now he's just the bald man.
If I do see him again, then I'm in for some fucking trouble.
I mean, what's the worst he's gonna fucking do? He's a shadow. You know.
I don't know, man. I really don't want to find out.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Normal people are scary when you owe them money. I don't want to owe a demon money. Excuse me.
I remember laying in bed one night, and he comes out of nowhere, literally.
Yeah.
Into where the moon was shining through my window. And he just stands there for like 2 hours watching me.
Did you have sleep paralysis with that?
I hadn't even fallen asleep yet.
Okay, well, you can have sleep paralysis and be awake.
Can you?
That's kind of the whole point, yeah.
Well,
where you wake out of a deep sleep and you can't move, you can't talk.
No, I hadn't gone to sleep yet.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't able to go to sleep because of this motherfucker.
I see.
You know. And I shit you not. You know, like those electronic toy keyboards?
Uh-huh.
We had an actual sized keyboard, but it was a piece of shit.
I have one of those.
And, it turned on by itself.
Oh.
And just started playing the same notes over and over and over and over.
Oh.
Till like 3 in the fucking morning, I got up and I fucking took the batteries out of that thing.
Huh.
And you wouldn't believe me if I fucking told you. But it still fucking played.
Oh. That's no bueno.
So guess where that went the next morning?
The trash.
No, the dumpster.
Oh.
Outside. The big one.
Well, yeah.
I wanted that thing as far away from me as possible.
Interesting.
Because that shit fucking terrified me. And it's entirely possible now as an adult, knowing it could have been like a loose wire or something got pinched or something like that.
Yeah.
But the fact that it happened at that exact moment,
Mm-hmm.
just out of the blue, I don't really believe that. So,
Well. What do you think about Slender Man? I don't know if you'd classify that as cryptid, but
I mean, I don't know what else you would call him.
a spookman.
Also, what is his obsession with notes
I don't know. It's just a game.
and the number 8?
The number 8?
Yeah.
I've never heard that one. Well, I guess the 8 pages. Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose. But there was a game before that one. Did you know that? There was the 8 pages and then Slender the Arrival, and before either of those two, there was like a black and white pixelated game. I don't think there was any pages to do with that.
Because it was black and white.
Well, yeah.
You can't really fucking do a paper image in black and white. Just doesn't work unless you make it gray or something.
Maybe.
But I would consider him, I don't know, because like the he's got the humanoid thing going on,
Yeah.
but then he's got the octopus spider arms or whatever.
Yeah.
So what would you call that?
I don't know, but I like the idea. I know there's a couple of different sets of lore around the character, but I like the lore that says that he's a tormenting spirit that protects children.
You didn't hear, did you?
What?
2 girls were arrested
yeah.
a few years ago. Well,
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah. It was like 2014 or something like that. Like quite a while ago.
For killing another girl because Slenderman told them to.
Yes, but the specific lore that I'm talking about was a story that I read. I don't remember where.
I'm just saying I'm
But-
I'm debunking that right now. You know?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's entirely possible that they are just fucking crazy.
But the thing is, it's not that he just protects children in general. That he protects children from adults that would do them harm. Which, that doesn't disprove it.
No, I guess not. Children doing harm to children, on the other hand, that's fine, apparently.
Slender Man says that's A-okay. Cindy, Linda across the street was talking shit. She says she says that your little pink dress is bullshit. You should stab her exactly 37 times.
That's my favorite dress. Of course I will. That little skink.
Exactly. She said that your chocolate chip cookies tasted like sawdust. Take this sawed-off shotgun. Say that to my face, bitch!
Oh my god. That was a good one.
Take this Glock 19.
Take this nuke launcher from Fallout. Goodbye, neighborhood.
Right. I think Slender Man is my favorite spooky anything that's out there.
I think he's my favorite now too, but just because of that bit we just did.
So I have 2 experiences with the games that I want to share
Alright.
that are pretty good. The first one, we were playing the 8 pages in an amphitheater. But not really an amphitheater, but like, the rooms in a lot of high schools or colleges or whatever where there's the stage where the choir sings.
The auditorium?
The auditorium, yes. Me and a couple buddies asked the choir director if we could hook up an Xbox to the projector upstairs because one of our buddies was a stage tech. And he's like, "What are you guys gonna play?" And we're like, Halo. But we played the 8 pages in a gigantic fucking auditorium, and it was so fucking intense. It was so fucking cool. The second one, I was playing The Arrival with a friend of mine. And I was there with my ex-wife, and he was like, "Hey, I got Skittle shots. Do you guys want to do Skittle shots?" And all 3 of us were doing Skittle shots, and I was so fucking sloshed. And I was so fucking paranoid after we played it. I was like, "Can we watch like
Dora,
like Ed, Ed and Eddie or like Johnny Bravo or something?" Because he had Cartoon Network or whatever, and I was just scared shitless. And then on the way home, as we were driving,
drunk, correct?
No, not. Well, my ex-wife had only had like 1 or 2 just to taste. She wasn't drunk at all.
Okay.
So she drove me home, and we were there for like 4 hours. So even if she did feel it, she wouldn't have by the end of the night.
Yeah.
Either way, she was driving me home, completely shit-faced, fucking wasted, and I was so drunk that I wanted to puke. And she's like, "We're like 4 blocks away. Can you hold it in?" And I'm like, "No." And I just opened the door as we were going 35 down the road, and just
down the road.
Yeah, as we're still going down the road. And she's like, "Are you okay?" And I literally got back up into a sitting position, looked at her, and I was just like, I chased the rainbow. I ended up puking all over my car door, but that's beside the point.
Please tell me you got a picture.
No.
Oh, that would have been funny. Just seeing it, fucking. Did we get a comment?
No. I'm just seeing how long we've been going. 1 hour 18.
I'm trying to think. I've got some stupid fucking drunk stories.
Oh yeah, we can go into drunk stories. That's great. Perfect segue.
So, for those that don't know, I have Irish ancestry. So my alcohol tolerance is...
It's either rock bottom shit or sky high good. There's no in between.
sky high good.
Okay.
So I have to drink a lot
Uh-huh.
to get drunk, which is not an issue for me.
Uh-huh.
One time, me and 2 of my friends, we decided to make spicy Cheeto chicken
Okay.
after drinking all fucking day.
Oh. I see.
So, 3 drunk men
Uh-huh.
in a kitchen trying to figure out how to cook.
Oh, wow.
One of them fucking poured the bag of Cheetos onto the chicken and then looks at me and goes, "It's not sticking!"
Very good.
So we spent the next 3 fucking hours trying to figure out how to make it fucking stick to the chicken. Because we were making our own breading,
I see. Yes.
if that wasn't clear.
Yeah.
And
Egg good.
So it got to the point where we ordered Taco Bell
Uh huh.
through DoorDash, and they delivered it. And as we're eating, my one buddy goes, "I should have Googled that."
Yeah, probably.
So
Um,
that's my first story.
so there.
And I sorry to cut you off real
You're-
quick, but I don't want to seem like I'm putting the stupidity on them.
Uh-huh.
I was definitely part of the problem.
Give me a K name. A male K name.
Kenneth.
Kenneth. Okay, yeah, Kenny. Kenny. We'll call him Kenny. I have a friend named Kenny.
Do you?
No, that's not his name.
I know.
I had a friend named Kenny. Let's call him Kenny. He was going to college at the time. He was up in Pocatello, which is East Idaho. Not horribly far from here. I think it's like 60-some, 70-some miles from here, one
Yeah,
way.
something like that.
But he had he was living in dorms on campus. And the person that he was living in the dorm with, he actually became really, really good friends with. It's funny because I can't say his nickname because it's part of a racial slur. So, and it's funny because he's not even he was Hispanic, he wasn't black, but they still called him a black racial slur just for fun. Anyway,
The N word with a hard R?
no, it was literally. Can I spell it out? I don't know. Niggz.
I don't think that's a racial slur.
Well, it's part of a racial slur. Anyway.
yeah, well, hello has hell in it.
Oh, well.
Hell is part of hello. So
Anyway.
your logic doesn't make any fucking sense.
I maybe I did learn his actual name, but I don't remember. But anyway, the two of them became really good friends, and they're like, hey, let's get an actual apartment together that's not like living in a shoebox. And that's what they did, and they had a housewarming party. Kenny's friend, I guess housemate, his housemate had family who ran a little brewery, just a tiny little brewery,
no.
and so they got these like 4 or 5 different kegs of different IPAs and beers and stuff that they their own special blend or whatever. And I guess they got like a 50% discount off of them, which is pretty cool. And they're like, hey, Kenny's like, hey, all my friends from here, around here, you should come to my housewarming party. And we're like, hell yeah, let's go. And I'm like, wait a minute, what kind of alcohol is going to be there? And he's like, just beers and IPAs. So if you want anything else, you're going to have to bring it. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, wait, what can I get that's cheap that I can just sip on all night that I don't have to keep mixing? And I'm like, Kahlua. Kahlua is great. And so I just got a giant bottle of Kahlua and literally babysat that thing all night long, just taking a little sip here, a little sip there. Just that's all I did all night long. It was great. But
Until you woke up the next day.
we'll get to that. But I have to tell the whole story because the whole story has different parts to it, and it's all great. I stayed with my cousin Gus, who I've mentioned before, not his real name. I stayed with him because Kenny was like the man of honor or whatever. It was his house, so you know he was talking to all the other guests, and there was a good
The host.
the host. There was a good 40-50 people there, and so I just stayed with my cousin Gus, and sometimes I would hang out for a couple minutes with another friend that we brought. Jason, again, that's not his name, but
Okay.
kind of bouncing back and forth between the 3 people that I knew.
Hang on, I just want to point out
Uh-huh.
that the names that you're using
Uh-huh.
are the first names of country artists.
Are they?
Jason-
Jason, Kenny, and Gus?
Okay, not Gus, but
Okay.
Jason Aldean and Kenny Chesney,
Okay.
or as I like to call him, Kenny Chestnut.
Okay.
Anyways,
So,
continue.
I'm bouncing around these 3 people that I know. And I wind up at the snack table that they brought out a little bit after we had arrived. And I was just sitting there, like, eating little, like, pinwheel sandwiches and Oreos and whatever.
Pinwheel sandwiches are the best.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're so much better than regular sandwiches. They're the same fucking thing.
So, I'm just standing there at the table, just taking bites out of everything here and there and everywhere. And this dude comes up and he starts eating, and I'm like, hey, how are you? He's like, oh, pretty good. He's like, oh, Kahlua, that's pretty cool. I almost said his real name. Did Kenny bring that? And I'm like, no, I brought it myself. I was like, oh, okay, can I have some? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I poured some in his cup, and he's like, there was IPA in that. And I'm like, oh, I'm fucking sorry. and we just hit it off. We started talking. We were talking about, I don't remember everything that we were talking about, of course, because I was really drunk. But the main thing that I remember was we just kept on talking and deeper in the conversation. We were talking about our dads, how our dads basically just left our moms and were like really physically and verbally abusive, and how we need to be better people than that, and we need to just live for us and not for who our fathers think that we would become. It was just a really deep conversation. And it was funny because my friend Jason comes over and is like, hey, there you are. Where have you been? And I'm like, oh, this is Bob. And he's like, hi, Bob. And he's like, hey.
Bob Marley.
Yeah, we're just talking. And he's like, are you okay, Nick? And I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, you got tears coming out of your eyes. And I'm like, wiping my eye. I'm like, oh, hey, I do. And I'm like, yeah, we just clicked on such a deep emotional level, and we're just talking about our dads. And he looked at me because he knew about my dad. He's like, oh shit, really? But he was like, yeah, man, it's really good talking to you. That was a really good conversation, but I gotta go. I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. And ever since then, I'm like, I need to find another Bob.
No, you need to track down that Bob.
Yeah, I do. But the night goes on. I get more drunk. They break out the barbecue. They start grilling up hot dogs and burgers and stuff. And I go outside. And Kenny's housemate was like, oh, hey, you're Nick, right? I'm like, yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, Kenny talks about you a lot. And we started talking a little bit. And he's like, do you want some of the IPA out of this keg? And I'm like, I really don't like grain alcohol. And he's like, just try it. I'm like, well, I can already tell that I'm really far gone, so I might not even be able to taste it. And I tasted it, and I wanted to puke immediately. I'm like, nope, I can still taste it. Fuck that. So I get my burger. I go inside. I get some cheese and condiments and stuff. And I just eat it immediately. And my cousin Gus was there, and he's like, are you okay? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, that was fresh off the grill. You didn't even wait a minute. And apparently I had steam coming out of my mouth, which the next morning my tongue felt like sandpaper. Because I burnt it to shit.
Yeah.
The night starts to close out, but there are still like maybe 20, 30 people there.
Don't do drugs, by the way, kids.
Yes. And Kenny's like, hey, Gus, Jason, Nick, I need to go get some more beer. And get some Coronas or whatever. And like, okay, yeah, let's go. And I was just so far gone. I was like, but how are we gonna drive there? And it's like 3 blocks down the road. We're fine. And I'm like, but we're all drunk. How are we gonna drive? It's like, we're gonna walk. And I'm like, oh, okay. And that's how I get when I'm really drunk. I talk really softly and slowly like this. That's how you know I'm drunk. And so we're just walking, we're talking shit, having a good time. And we come across this lady that's smoking on her porch. And at the time, I believe the only one that was legal to drink was Kenny. I think Gus, Jason, and I were under 21. I think we're like 2019. And she's like, you kids need to calm down and shut up. You're being too loud. And Jason goes, fuck you, lady. We'll be as loud as we want. And she's like, are you kids drinking? Are you old enough to be drinking? And I look at her and I go, fuck you, lady. What are you going to do? Call my mom? And then Kenny's like, dude, you're not helping the situation. So we just kind of skedaddle on.
Well, Yeah, I'm not helping this situation, but neither is the bitch.
Yeah. We skedaddle on. We get to right across the street from the gas station. The only issue is that it's like across the street from the main fucking road in Pocatello. So there are cars zipping by.
Yeah.
And so we're waiting. It finally gets a little bit less busy, so we start going. We get to the median. And then my friend Jason thought it would be the funniest thing ever to be like, hey, that old bitch back there is calling your mom. You better go stop her. And I'm like, what? Who? Where the fuck? And I start going across the road, and here comes cars. I'm not even paying attention. My cousin Gus, like, yanks me back, and is like, Jason, what the fuck is wrong with you? You could have killed him. He's like, oh, he's not that drunk. And I'm over there trying to swing at Gus, like, let me at her. And he's like, okay, maybe he is that drunk. So we get inside. We're looking for the beer, and I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And they're like, are you good to go pee yourself? I'm like, what am I gonna do, piss on myself? So I go, I piss in the toilet, no accident, but I go to flush. Doesn't flush. I'm like, oh, that's a problem. And so I go up to the clerk. And what I think, in my head, I think that this clerk is just standing on the edge of, like, the little countertop. Yeah. So I go up to him, and I'm like, hey, your toilet's broken. And he goes, okay, thanks, bud. And the next day, they told me this actually happened. I walk up to the dude, I trip, and then I get back up and then trip again. I get back up the second time. And then I go behind the counter where only the employees are supposed to go, get 6 inches from this dude's face, and go, your toilet's broken.
Okay, if this isn't like an animated little cartoon drawing thing, I don't know what is.
I should definitely do that.
Before we upload this, we need to
figure something out. Try to see what we can do. Yeah.
Because that would be fucking great.
Yeah.
It really just kind of solidified the visual experience, like what I'm getting.
Just going 6 inches from this dude's face, just going, your fucking toilet's wrong. It's fucking broken.
You see, I took a piss and it's still there.
But we get back to the...
What do I do?
Yeah. We get back to the apartment, no problem. And, actually, we see the old bitch smoking on her porch again. And this time, she's like, I already called the cops. Where do you guys live? And all I said was, suck my dick and my balls. And she, like, got up off of her porch and, like, looked like she was going to chase us down the road. But, of course, she didn't. But we booked it anyway.
Well, 3 of you booked it.
I tried my best to run.
I just snorted.
We get back to the apartment, okay. All goes well. Not much of note happened after that, but when I woke up the next morning, apparently I had slept all night on my one hand, and for 2 days straight, I couldn't feel anything. It was getting to the point where I almost went to the hospital for it, but it started clearing up.
So, she was bluffing about calling the cops.
Yeah.
I knew she was.
Yeah. But, that's...
Fuck you, bitch!
Yeah. That's a couple stories wrapped into one.
Okay, okay, so all my drinking stories happened at the same motel.
Okay.
The one where I got COVID at.
Okay.
Am I going to say COVID here?
Probably.
I like how we don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, me and my buddy, and one of my buddies, he and I had been drinking. A lot.
Yeah.
Like, he was through, halfway through a bottle of fucking tequila or some shit. I can't drink tequila, by the way.
Yeah.
It fucking makes me sick.
It makes me angry.
Hey.
I get punchy.
Wait, what if you combine it with punch then?
You're funny.
Does it cancel each other out?
I haven't tried that. I don't know.
Keep me posted.
Okay.
And so there was the motel door. Then there's the parking lot. Then there's this like grass area. And then there's another parking lot area. And then there's an A&W burgers place, for those that don't know. He was through, or halfway through a bottle of vodka, or tequila. And I had been working on a fucking huge-ass bottle of Jameson.
Uh-huh.
So, needless to say, we were pretty...
Whiskey.
We were feeling pretty good. Irish whiskey, too.
Yeah.
Needless to say, we were feeling pretty damn good about ourselves.
Yeah.
To the point where we got hungry.
Oh.
So, what did our drunk asses decide to do? It wasn't even fucking like 500 feet.
Yeah.
It took us an hour to get there.
Oh. What could have possibly happened that it took you that long to go a couple hundred feet?
If I wasn't on the ground, he was on the ground. If neither of us were on the ground, it was a miracle.
Okay.
And then somehow we managed to get turned around a couple of times.
Interesting.
It's a straight fucking shoot.
Yeah.
Literally all we had to do was walk straight.
Yeah.
And somehow we managed to turn around and ended up back at the fucking hotel room. Or motel room.
Interesting.
But we eventually got our burgers. And the girl at the burger place, she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And she's like, "You got blood on your face."
Oh.
And it was even worse. Like, normally I wouldn't fucking care.
Yeah.
Like, we all got blood inside of us. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But this girl was super fucking cute. And I was just like, "Oh, yeah. My buddy punched me in the face."
Very cool.
Because that's a better story than I fell.
Yeah.
So, and I tried getting her phone number, and which I would never do sober, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm too fucking skittish.
Yeah. It's called liquid courage for a reason.
For real. I didn't get it. But I didn't care. And I fucking tripped through the door
I see.
on the way out. Because it's one of those fucking push doors
Uh-huh.
from the inside.
Uh-huh.
And I tripped through the door. But we had our food, so I didn't fucking care.
Nice.
Another hour later, we're back at the fucking house. Or the fucking room.
Nice.
So, but only my stupid ass would be able to get turned around and lost in the middle of a grass field.
Yeah. That sounds about right. I was gonna say, I've gotten into 2 fights, 2 different times that I've been drunk on tequila, which is why I don't drink anymore. The first time I was ever drunk on tequila was actually at someone's house that I knew that I shouldn't have been anyway, because we had been friends previously, but it was the same guy that, I think I told the story on the podcast, that I fought while I had braces, and he punched me and saw blood, and then he started like freaking the fuck out, and I was like, "Nah, motherfucker, I didn't hear no bell." It was that guy. I knew that I shouldn't have been at his house because we were basically enemies at that point, but he was willing to extend a hand in friendship again.
So frenemies.
Yeah. Coming to find out, it was only because he was like he needed money, basically. So he tried to be friendly with me in order to get money out of me. But anyway, and he was like, let's be friends again. And we had hung out like maybe 2 times before this period of time. And the third time we hung out as adults, I guess, because before that I hadn't hung out with him since we were young teenagers, like maybe 14.
Yeah, a lot of shit changes between those years.
Yeah, that's why I hung out with him, because I didn't think that, I thought that maybe he had changed, but he had sake and tequila, and he's like, there's only 2 things that I have to drink, and I tried the sake and it tasted like damp socks, and I'm like, no, I'll take the tequila, that's fine. But I got very angry and very punchy, and as the 2 of us were both shit-faced, we both swung at each other, and because we were shit-faced, either we didn't feel it or we didn't punch very hard. But he actually, I don't know what possessed him. I don't know if he remembered why he used to hate me or what, but he grabbed a knife.
Oh boy.
And like, I remember him charging at me with the knife, like full tilt, full steam ahead, charging at me. And I remember just the soberness, the drunkenness draining from my face, and in that one moment of sober clarity, I was like, I'm going to die. And so I grabbed his knife hand and then grabbed his neck with the other, and I basically dead weighted in order to slam the top of his head into the ground. And then I was like as we were both on the ground, me still on his arm and his neck, I was like, are you okay? And his response was, and I'm like, oh my god. I knocked his ass out. And when he woke up, he's like,
Mama,
what the hell happened?
Just killed a man.
He woke up maybe 2 minutes after that. And he was like, what the hell happened? I'm like, you don't remember charging me with a knife? He's like, what? And I'm like, the knife that's right there on the floor, you were going to stab me with it. And he's like, oh, no, I don't remember that. I was like, hey, I'm going to walk home. And he's like, okay, cool. And we didn't talk for about 2 or 3 days, but finally he was like, hey, I'm sorry about what happened. I'm like, hey, we're both drunk, don't worry about it, but, you know, whatever.
You know, it's actually a tradition in Ireland that if you have beef with someone, you get drunk and you fight it out. And when the morning rolls around, either you're fucking friends again, or you have a tolerance, I guess.
Yeah.
For each other, or I don't know what the
mortal enemies.
I don't know what the fuck happens, but there's some type of fucking punishment.
I see.
And honestly, if that's not a fucking great model for society,
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is.
Yeah.
I want to get in fights. Literally, I would walk up to someone and just be like, hey, fuck you.
I'm calling you out, mister.
And then they'll be like, hey, let's get drunk.
So, you want to tell one more story, and I'll tell one more story, and then we'll be done?
If
If you have one more. I've got plenty, but it's getting long.
Have I ever told the story of how when I was drunk, I got stuck in a fold-out couch?
I don't think so.
So, again, we had been drinking. I think it was the. Yeah.
We're almost done, Taco. You can wait like 10 minutes.
I think it was right after we had gotten the food. I got up to go to the bathroom, and I jumped back onto the fucking fold-out couch. Mm-hmm. And the fold-out couch did not appreciate that.
I see.
It folded in on me.
Oh.
And then my dumbass was like, hey, stop. So my buddy's like, do you need help? And I'm like, no, I'm good. And then I took a nap there.
Nice. The other time that I drank tequila, it was actually at a house party. And me and my friend Jason actually, we had a disagreement. Don't even remember what it was about. But it's like, you want to fight about it? And I'm like, well, I don't want to hurt you. And he's like, oh, you think you're going to hurt me? I'm like, I don't want you to hurt me neither. He's like, all right, let's wrestle. See who can pin the other. I'm like, okay, let's do that.
This sounds kinky.
So we wrestled, and I was getting an upper hand on him, and he decided to cheap shot me, like right in the chest, because he knew I had heart problems. So I was like, okay, bitch, you get one. And I kept wrestling normal, and then he cheap shotted me again. This time in the side. I was like, okay, motherfucker, let's go then. And so I just started raining hell on him, just punching him right in the face, and he was punching me right in the face. And I think I broke his nose, and he gave me 2 black eyes actually. And then it got to the point where we were both cut up pretty bad in the face, and other people in the house had to break it up. And he actually spit on me, and I was like, dude, what the hell is your problem? And I saw the change of mood in his face. He was like, I don't know, what the hell is my problem? I'm like, I don't know, dude. He started cheap shotting me. And he's like, I did? And I'm like, yes! And he's like, I am so fucking sorry. I just remember them just really slowly, just like in the movies. He went from
realization.
Just the realization, like, I don't know, what the hell is my problem?
Do we have some untalked about issues here?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Or
we did later. We found out we did later, but at the time it was just like, you started hitting me. I don't know.
I don't want to hurt you. Well, I choose violence.
Yeah. Too damn bad. Like literally, his cousin had to pull him off, and I think he like elbowed his cousin in the face. So, like, everybody else was like, okay, this is getting insane. And, like, 4 or 5 different people had to step between us.
Drunken brawls are the best brawls.
Yeah. But,
you can disagree with me on that, but...
Well, it's just... I've only ever been in, like, maybe 3 or 4 different fights. 2 of them were drunk, so... I don't know.
So then only 2 drunken brawls.
Yeah.
Pussy.
Does it count as a brawl if my father-in-law knocked my ass out? It was literally just 1 hit and I was down. Does that count as a brawl?
No, that counts as a nap.
Okay, yeah. I don't remember what I was doing or saying, but I just remember being really rowdy and talking shit. And I said something to upset my ex-wife's father, and he like shoved me into like the guest bedroom, and then I just remember him reeling back like this and just waking up the next day.
Huh, why am I missing teeth?
No, I wasn't missing teeth or bleeding or didn't have a broken nose or nothing like that. I just was like, I like woke up the next day, walked out in the kitchen, he was having his coffee and reading the newspaper. I was like, what happened last night? He was like, you were a motherfucker, that's what happened last night. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like, yeah, I'm sure you are. You're not getting drunk in my house again. He never told me what I said either. He was just like, don't worry about it.
Fair enough.
Anyway, sorry. That was one story too far. Thank you for joining
Killing
us.
a man.
Huh?
Thank you for killing a man.
No,
No, I'm thanking you for killing a man.
I didn't.
Yeah, okay, sure. I see what you're doing.
Don't do this. Please don't do this.
Plausible deniability, right?
Thank you one and all for joining us on the YouTubes and the Twitch VOD and the
TikToks and the fucking TwitTube.
yeah, all of that stuff.
That sounds like it would be something entirely different.
Yeah.
TwitTube?
What?
I don't know. But it sounds like it'd be different than Twitter.
Okay. We might do this format again where it's on Twitch and then chop it up just a touch and then put it back up on YouTube. Don't know, but probably the the podcast that we have pre-recorded will probably go up on Friday, and then this one the Friday following, probably. But yeah, remember to go over to our Twitter and vote on if you want us to review John Wick 1 or Paul next. That'll probably happen within the next week or two. It might be a little bit after that because the reunion is on. We're going up on the 19th and coming back the 21st, so it might be after that. I don't know. Try to work it out. But yes, if you would like to help me purchase camping gear so I can go to my wife's reunion with her, just to make it a little bit easier, we have a little reserve. I've been door dashing and all my DoorDash money is going towards that. But if you'd like to help out, there is a link either in the Twitch description or YouTube channel description for our Cash App, or if you want to donate over on the Patreon. $2 will get your name in a credit sequence at the end of each episode, and $5 will get you our movie reviews, which right now we have 2.
And I think they've both turned out pretty good.
Yes.
I do think that they are very enjoyable. It's a little difficult editing things that have already been edited. Because you gotta match. You don't want to cut to in the middle of a fucking sentence, but you also don't want to cut in the middle of a fucking scene.
Yes.
It's a very hard balancing act.
My phone is at 19%.
Nobody cares.
Okay.
So go ahead and shove it in your underwears.
Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have for you guys today. Do you have anything else to add? Morgan, you have the floor.
No, I don't. I have a chair.
Good enough.
Just thank you all so much for watching. The support has been amazing. Again, like I said earlier, we are at 35 views on one video, which is
65.
65.
Yes.
What did I say?
35.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
But we knew this. But regardless, it's fucking mind-blowing. I know I've said this before, but it truly is mind-blowing. It just continues to fucking climb, and I don't understand why.
We're just two idiots talking into the void.
Yeah, that's literally all it is. And I love what we do.
Yes, I also love what we do.
Could you have said that any more robotic?
Yes, we love what we do.
Okay, good enough.
Anyway, we will see you next week when we talk about
Ruby Ridge. Bum, bum, bum.
I was gonna say some bullshit like skinning raccoons, but that works too. Anyway, bye!